Hey there, guys, and welcome to the Save Continue podcast, where every week we get together and talk about video games and video game related stuff.
Your voice sounds smooth today.
Yeah, very smooth.
Thank you. I'm Shanae Howard. This is Tommy Shelby.
Hi, guys.
This is Ryan Robinson.
Hello.
And how was y'all's guys' week?
I feel tired.
Yeah.
You know?
You're a
I don't
sleepy
really know
boy.
why. Hasn't been that busy of a week. It's been okay, though.
Maybe your
Been a
allergies are
good
bad?
week. You know, they were not great today.
Your eye was really red.
Yeah.
Maybe it's allergies.
Maybe it's conjunctivitis.
Yeah.
Maybe it's scarlet fever.
Sure. Yeah, it's been a good week. Just, been taking care of last minute Christmas stuff. And went to a
Yeah,
Christmas
finish that.
party last night, and that was fun.
Ooh. Did you get drunk?
And, no.
No.
Did you drink some eggnog?
I drank some kind of Christmas drink that Sarah made up.
Yeah.
It was good.
I gave her, she said she didn't have a name for it. I gave her a name. She didn't like it. So
What's the name?
Sweet Missouri Pussy.
I don't know. I don't
She
know
said that
why.
didn't sound very Christmassy. So,
That's true.
yeah.
But yeah,
What if you change it to Mary Missouri Pussy?
Sure. It's a good name.
sure.
How was your week, Ryan?
Pretty good. I've been playing a lot of Tekken, so it's always a good time when I'm playing Tekken. 2 new characters came out for the game.
Oh, nice.
Ganryu and Leroy Smith.
What do they play as? Like, what kind of characters are they?
Ganryu is more of a sumo type character.
Oh, like Bob?
No, more like E Honda.
Okay.
And Leroy Smith is he's a Wing Chun master. And
What does that mean?
Well, I don't know. I don't speak Chinese, but oh shit, my bad.
Jesus fucking
My bad.
Christ.
God.
My bad.
Oh
Sorry, I
my
forgot to silence my phone.
God.
Who's calling me? I don't know who that is. I guess
It's your mother.
you ever see any of the Ip Man movies?
I think so.
Okay, well he's like that,
Okay.
so it's pretty cool. I've been having a good, and I made a Tekken friend yesterday, so that was cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
On the online?
yeah, we played about 30 matches together.
Oh, dang.
And then I had to go, but then we added each other.
Nice.
Really cool.
What have you been playing, Tommy?
Not a whole lot. I already owned the game, but I purchased it on PlayStation 4, Riptide GP2, which is definitely a budget game. It was originally a mobile game that people like to shit all over. But I like water racing games, and it's made by Vector Unit, who did the last Hydro Thunder, which is very good. And it's just a really fun game. And then I finally bought Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I've been having a lot of fun with that. And it is hideous, yes, but gameplay-wise, it's quite good.
I haven't played it since the demo.
I've been saying, even on the show, I've been wanting a fighting game with like good OTG,
Yeah.
and for me, that's always been Marvel. So
Yeah.
I've just been playing Luigi's Mansion.
I've been playing that here and there, but not too much.
I took a giant break from it because I got the flu, and I was just super wiped, and I just had a fever that didn't want to go away. So I ended up watching all of the Marvel movies.
All of them.
That's a lot of
except
fucking
except for
film.
Incredible Hulk, and yeah, that's it.
Ghost Rider.
Well, I mean like the MCU movies. Sorry,
Ghost Rider's not in the MCU.
it's not part of the the cinematic universe where they're all like interconnected.
What about Punisher? What was it? Warzone?
That movie's so fucking cool,
No.
man.
Because
So-
didn't that come out after Iron Man?
Yeah.
So wouldn't that
That's
be
a-
part of it?
No, it's ones that were planned like specifically so where they all interconnect and like
I guess I
characters
just
going
feel like
between each other.
Punisher should have been
Yeah.
included. I feel like Punisher Warzone is better than all of those movies.
Yeah. So I watched all those and just babied myself till I wasn't contagious anymore.
Sure.
And then just really a lot of Luigi's Mansion, some Apple Arcade games. We've been having some friends spend the night, so a little bit of Smash.
Yeah, I haven't really played any Apple Arcade
up.
like since the first few weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I'm not gonna play it, I should just fucking cancel it.
I agree.
But
Yeah, you should.
They have they released the first game in a month during the Game Awards. I played that for a minute.
No, they've been
As
having,
a matter of
they've been
fact.
having games pop up. Like,
yeah, they
not-
have pretty regularly actually.
Yeah, normally once a week they releases like a couple games. I know
Mhm.
there was like a 1-2 week break, but normally it's like once a week, like 4 or 5 games for the first couple weeks.
Yep. What's funny is like I've been subscribed to that since day one, right? And I haven't been playing them. No reason. I just haven't been looking at them, you know. But I have bought other mobile games.
So,
It feels
I didn't
weird
talk
to
about
buy
before.
mobile games
Yeah.
to me now.
Grindstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like all those little challenges
Mm-hmm.
that you get on the side, you can finish those. People say that you can't, and
Well, why would they put them in there if you couldn't finish them?
Well, because like it just keeps like recycling, but
Oh, I see.
more
I see.
enemies. But yeah, so I'm just about done with the last one on there,
Nice.
and then I can finally delete that game off my phone. Because I think I told you before, I'm like downloading a bunch of them, and then I can't download anymore until I finish them and then delete them off my phone.
I mean, you're an adult. You can do what you want.
Sure, it's
But
your
I'm setting
phone.
my
You're
own
paying for it.
limitations. Because otherwise, I just keep jumping from one to one, and then
Yeah.
not getting interested in any of them. So, it's been going well.
I got to play that Untitled Goose game last night. That was a really fun time.
You excited for that Kingdom Hearts DLC today?
Yes.
See that trailer?
Is there like a new one that came out on the Game Awards?
No, the last one I think was the one for the State of Play from PlayStation.
Okay, yeah, no, then I watched that.
Yeah.
So Remind, I'm pretty excited about, but that's not till next year.
Yeah.
In January sometime, hopefully.
I mean, that's right around the corner, bro.
From what
I
I,
know.
understand, they got some Final Fantasy characters in that sumbitch.
Yeah, about damn time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm excited about that. Definitely gonna get that and play that. Berto finished Death Stranding.
Cool.
So he's trying to platinum that right now.
Right on.
And yeah, that's all game stuff.
I'm really excited to be able the prospect of being able to buy video games again is very exciting to me because I haven't been able to buy video games in a while, and I'm excited to treat myself in the near future. It's funny because when you mentioned Luigi's Mansion, I was thinking to myself because it hasn't yet sunk in that there's a Switch in my house. Because every time people talk about cool Switch games, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm missing out. And then I remember that there's a Switch in my house, and I could play those games.
Well, I bought it physically, so whenever I finish with it, you can just borrow it.
Cool, that would be very nice. Thank you, Shanae. That would be a good time.
Oh shoot,
I'm gonna suck
I meant to
them
bring my
ghosts.
Wii U, but I forgot.
That's all right.
I know it would be a while. I just want to get it out of my house.
Sure.
But yeah. Oh, I put up my Christmas decorations today.
Elf on a Shelf?
Nah.
No. You
Mm-mm.
don't want to move that around for Birdo?
I think he would. I think that would make him. I think he would really like that.
I know for a fact he would not. He doesn't like dolls very much. So like,
Elongated limbs,
Yeah.
like the Slender Man.
Yeah.
I also feel like Luna would probably just get the toy and destroy it.
They should do Elf on a Shelf. That's Slender Man.
They basically do.
Oh, right on.
It's Slender Man with like Christmas cheer thrown on it.
Cool.
But yeah, so this week you wanted to talk about next gen, Tommy.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
I just want to talk about predictions, what you guys might be excited for.
I'm excited.
Because we got about a year. We're about a year off.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about PlayStation 5 first or Xbox Series X?
Ugh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that name's not
It
great.
doesn't matter.
Let's talk about PlayStation 5 since that happened a while ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really have much information besides that it's going to be called PlayStation 5. I know they're planning on redesigning the interface, so it's definitely a lot more user-friendly, especially when you want to share or be social.
Yeah.
I know that
Well, it's
supposedly...
already pretty easy,
It is pretty easy.
Yeah.
especially compared to the Xbox dashboard.
Yeah. And then I know that they wanted to integrate more of the stuff like from the Switch Joy-Cons, like the HD Rumble part, and in there, and then they also wanted to. It's not gonna be a new DualShock. Oh yeah, so I was also
DualShock 5.
I think we were gonna call it DualShock 5. I thought it was gonna be the same DualShock, and then they're just gonna add the HD Rumble.
No, it's a different controller. And I don't think it's actually HD Rumble. I think it's more of a haptic feedback, like
I like
that's,
haptics.
That's what I meant.
like resisted.
I enjoy haptics.
Like the best explanation I heard them give was specifically related to the triggers.
Yeah.
In that, like,
That sounds so cool.
shooting a bow would have more tension than shooting a
That
gun.
sounds really cool.
Stuff like that.
I like
Yeah,
that.
because I thought it was gonna be similar. Like whenever you have to like in like say Mario Party shake the controller, it has that like that feedback, so it feels like you're actually shaking something inside of
Yeah.
it, or it feels heavier.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. I'm not too concerned about any of that, though.
What are you concerned about, Tom?
I also really like. Sorry, real quick. I also really liked that I heard that you can download parts of the game. So if you want to download just the single part,
Yeah.
part,
Well,
you
what's
don't have to
dumb
download the
is
multiplayer.
like we've had that, and it's never served me well.
Yeah, well, like
Yes, if what you're saying is a little bit different in that, like, if let's say it's Call of Duty, right, and you only play multiplayer, then just having that is nice. But I don't know, man.
I think it's cool to make it easier to like
Little things, I suppose. All the small things, I guess, right?
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm more interested in like potential for games, and possibly, new things with VR. VR doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, which is a good thing in my opinion.
What are you talking about? Oculus Quest.
No, I mean like it's here to stay.
It's not leaving.
Oh.
Right. Which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
But just interested to see where all that stuff goes. Backwards compatibility, there's been rumors about that. And, even though it's well known that nobody actually uses it, people do seem to want it.
Yeah.
They want the option.
Yeah.
Have the cake and eat it.
Yeah, no, I have a friend, Cristiano, who's actually on the show once. He works for Oculus now.
Yeah.
And so he's been super stoked about it. And I know him and Berto have been talking about a lot of Oculus stuff.
He's been stoked about what?
Just some of the future developments and stuff that he gets to work on.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, there's been a heavy rumor for a while now that PlayStation 5 will play all previous generation PlayStation games. And
that would be hard. I mean, not hard.
It would be hard for PlayStation 3 for the same reason it is right now because of the cell processor.
Yeah, like that's because, and not even that, like each disc has to be recognized. And then, of course, like even like just like something simple like the motors to spin the disc at the right amount of speeds and stuff like that. I just feel like there's a lot of things that could go wrong.
Oh, no. I mean, any Blu-ray player nowadays will play Blu-ray, DVD, and CD, which is what all those are,
Yeah, true.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's just curious. I always get excited when a new generation is coming up. And
new hardware is super exciting, especially like, and this is like that in the next year, I'm just going to hear more and more stuff that gets me excited about all of that shit. Like there, when I was playing games earlier today, I was thinking about like,
excuse me.
I was thinking about like the share. You okay, bud? Yeah, we're good. Okay. I was thinking about the share feature on the PS4, which I think is a really cool thing. Like, because when the PS4 first came out, I thought it was cool because there's all those, specifically because of how often I'm like, dude, you should have seen that thing that happened in the game I was playing last night, but I wasn't recording it, so I can only describe it to you. And I always thought that's why I thought the share feature was cool. But I hope that with the share stuff, I hope that there's better stuff for better stuff for like streaming and stuff, and make it like just a little bit more like a few more options around that stuff. I think would be really neat.
I mean, we've talked about that on the show before, like specifically with Twitch integration in the two more powerful consoles. Why is it that PlayStation can move the camera to 4 places only?
Yeah.
Why can't you have your own overlays? If you can upload a picture to your console, why can't you throw that into the Twitch app?
Yeah, I would think that would be so neat because like it would, because like the less like stuff I got to set up to stream gameplay, like the happier I am. And I mean, I could only speak for myself, but like it would be cool to have more options with that, because like all the options that I have for like streaming, pretty much all the options that I have for like streaming stuff from the PlayStation is coming from my computer.
Well, see, and like for me, that's not even the worry because we have access to that stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I've got several friends who stream who don't have a computer,
Right.
who are just streaming from their PlayStation
Yeah.
or just streaming from their Xbox, and you can call it a mile away that that's what they're using to stream.
Sure.
You know, and that's just such a simple fix.
Yeah, it would be cool for people who want to get into that stuff not to also have to invest in that additional shit to
Yeah.
like really do what they want to do with it.
Yeah, and speaking of the share feature, that is going to be one of the new buttons on the new
That's so
Xbox
dumb.
Series X
It's
controller.
good. Don't get me wrong. It's smart for them to have that button there. For those that don't know, Xbox One,
Also, that was a sweet segue into the next console.
like you can share off with the control input. You have to hit the home button twice, to, like
Yeah.
double tap it, and it shares, right?
I didn't realize that for like 6 months.
But like, it's dumb that they bothered bringing that up. That's something that all the consoles have now. That shouldn't
Yeah.
be like, and we got a share button. Like, you know, that's not exciting to anybody.
Yeah.
Some people it is.
Ugh.
But here's the thing is that
If
Well-
that's what you're looking forward to for next generation,
well,
I
like
think it's like
it's
an
not like they
added,
didn't-
an added thing.
yeah, but like it's not like they had a share button. It was just a button that shared a function with something else.
yeah.
You know, they already had a means of doing it from the controller. It wasn't, exceptionally difficult, but like I think that
But it also wasn't exceptionally obvious.
well, that too, but here's the thing is that like when you're talking about your next gen hardware and all the great shit that it's going to be able to do, like a new button on the controller is pretty low on the list, I think.
I don't know. I felt like it was just like adding like just bullet listing another feature, such as like the controller is gonna be like
Okay,
modular and
but let
stuff.
me ask you this: give me 3 other features that they told you, because they didn't. You know what I mean? They didn't tell us shit. They told us, oh, the D-pad takes after the fucking Pro Controller D-pad, and you've got a share button, and like that's all we know, other than they're saying it's the most powerful console ever made, which they said for Xbox One X, which no one bought, and they don't know Sony specs yet. So how can they make that claim? You know,
Yeah.
like.
Phil
It's not like
Spencer.
it wasn't a bullet point because they didn't give you bullet points. You know, it was like one of 2 things that they told you.
Well, the thing about these announcements is that they can, like, at least in the beginning, that you can get away with being like, here's a new thing, here's a new box, and here's a sizzler.
I think the
And
reason
then-
that this was at the Game Awards is because PlayStation, at least for their past 4 devices, has unveiled them at their press meeting in New York in January.
Yeah.
One other thing that I do know, one of the 3 things you want me to name, is that this is obviously going to have different versions. Having the name series in there
Yeah.
obviously makes it seem like there's going to be other versions of it.
But doesn't that bother you too?
Yeah,
Because like he calls it Series X, but
which is a terrible name.
he doesn't refer to it as a series. He refers to Series X as the name of a console.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
in everything afterwards, in the press release that went up that night, in every tweet he's had, he refers to it as the name of a console, not the name of a line of consoles, you know?
Yeah. So obviously there's going to be a different series in the same thing.
Yeah.
So it just, and they did harp on like that's going to be a seamless transition from like this gen to the next gen. And, of course, having games for both of them, as has been the tradition. And I don't know, it just makes me not want to be an early adopter even that much more for this Xbox.
Well,
I mean, like if I'm gonna spend like, I'm guessing for both of them like the $500 price point for them.
$4,000.
I'd have to be $1,000.
Well, we don't know what Lockhart is yet, and
Yeah.
that's rumored to be the cheaper version.
Yeah.
So, because so there was 2 parts of Scarlet. There was Anaconda, there was Lockhart.
Yeah.
So,
So Shanae, what do you want from like next gen? Like, what do you like? What is going to be like? What like wows you?
So I don't really stream games I play. Or unless I'm streaming with you guys, which is rarely. It's been years.
I mean, Ryan told you where to see us,
Yeah.
when to be there. So,
I mean, I'm there every week,
So, honestly, like, interface would be cool. Like, I think if something would wow me, like have like a super awesome interface would be cool.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be the games library. It's gonna be the library. That's the only thing that's gonna make me swap over.
I guess that's what matters in the end, right? But
It's like, what games can I play on it?
But I guess I'm just like, because I think about it, and it's always a foregone conclusion that at the very least the games will see a bump in visual fidelity, right? But I keep saying that has never, like, it's nice when games look better, like that's fine. But I've been saying that that's not necessarily what I need from like new hardware. But then like I think about it like when I say I want more interesting games, and I realized recently that I'm not entirely sure what I mean when I say that. And I guess it's one of those things I feel like I know it when I see it.
I think like the upgrade in visuals can do some significant things. We've seen it do significant things in the past. Because the 8th generation wasn't as significant, I think that we kind of just discard that completely, and I don't think we should. The jump from the 16-bit generation to the 64 and 32-bit generation was fucking huge.
Yeah.
As was the next generation after that. As was the generation after that. It's just the most recent generational jump we saw was not great.
Yeah.
But visuals have proven time and time again that they do frequently change gameplay. So I don't think we should just ignore that, Well,
I'm not discounting it completely, but like I have I guess if you want to call it a hierarchy of like what I'm hoping for, like with like new games, it's not at the top. It's on there for sure, but it's not at the top.
Yeah.
Because I guess like of course I'm playing games now that wouldn't be possible last gen, right? Like they wouldn't, last gen's consoles wouldn't have been able to play them. But like, I guess I'm just wondering, what is like, because I'm looking for that. What we call that Gears of War moment. I don't ever feel like I had I never really feel like I had that. Like I've had a lot of games that this generation that have been like, whoa, that's really cool. I never had that.
Well, Monster Hunter World.
Monster Hunter World is really great, but at the same time, like it wasn't that it didn't give me that same like aha moment where I was just like, the next generation has arrived.
Well, and I also think that a lot of people don't realize how much of what we have this generation could easily work last generation.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World could work last generation.
Yeah.
There might not be as many particle effects. Load times might be longer.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, like GTA 5 was the last gen game.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
People are still buying that sumbitch.
It's things like
Skyrim was the last
it's
gen
things
game.
like Resogun that would be significantly different last gen to this gen.
Sure. Yeah.
And you see that because it was released on the Vita. But I don't know.
Well, Tom, do you have something like, what do you want from next gen?
I honestly want more out of developers. And not to speak badly of developers, I know it's hard to make a game. But like going back to some of the oldest consoles, like designing around limitation has brought around some of like the best things we've had. Yeah. And I think that's a good thing. And I think that I want more from video game players because there are a lot of things that have come out that people have just refused to adopt for no reason, Yeah. And it's a refusal to it's a refusal to evolve. Video games. Well, I've talked about like the controller problem for fucking ever. Yeah. We've had the same controller for a long time now. Yes, different iterations with HDR and share buttons and all this other crap, but like it's been basically the same since DualShock 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say,
since DualShock, really.
Yeah.
Like the only one that's really trying something different is Nintendo.
Right. Like console shooters could be completely different today if people were more comfortable with the idea that Splatoon set forth, you know?
Yeah.
But people are just refuse to adopt these new things. And I think that holds us back quite a bit.
It's kind of a paradox, I think, because, you know, you have people who criticize like established franchises for being like, you know, they're just releasing the same game every year, and you guys just keep buying it.
Yeah.
And then they do something different, and they're like, no, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not it. You know, and
we've just become set in our ways, you know?
yeah. And like I get that, like
since the 5th fucking generation, we've been set in our ways not with everything,
Sure.
but with a lot of things.
yeah, video games are expensive to buy, so I can understand people being selective about what they buy, but at the same time, like I guess like the analogy that I feel like kind of fits for me anyway is that I'll go to a restaurant and I'll look at the menu and I'll say, well, I know that I like that, so I feel safe at spending my money on that, but like I haven't tried that, and you know what, worst case scenario, I don't like the way it tastes, and I know that now. I know that, but I'm not. But at the same time, best case is I have a new favorite dish.
But the refusal for like companies like Activision to put in assisted motion aiming into their games as an option, not even as a mandatory thing, as something you could turn on and off, right? Because even in Splatoon or Breath of the Wild, you can turn it on, you can turn it off, right? But to not even put it in, it's like when we got the N64 controller. If we were to say, no, we don't want an analog stick, why would we want that now?
Yeah,
like that's fucking dumb.
Yeah. But we've all talked about, like, there's a lot of options that developers leave out of games that, and it's in their many times we're just like, why, like why? Because
players would deem it unfair. It's like Daigo using a hitbox, like it's really no different.
Yeah. But
it can't start with a competitive game. It needs to start with a very popular single player game, like a BioShock or something like that. But like not even just that, right? That's just the first thing that comes to mind. But there are a lot of things that like could be better and just stay the same.
Well, they only and you can't, and I think that a lot of like people will always blame publishers and developers for that, but like at the same time, it's like we got a business to run. So if we don't think that you're gonna buy this thing, why will we put all this money and man hours into making it if we don't think you're gonna buy it?
Yeah.
And it's just and also, but it also goes into that where I think a lot of that is people still do that like a quality of a game is like the initial quality of a game or expected quality of a game is based on its price point. And so people will like, there could be like, there's this new like adventurous game, the ambitious game that's coming out that it's doing things that no one's ever seen, but it's $60, so it's like, that's a little bit too much. But then you hear about, and then like, but the game comes out at $19 or $20.
Yeah.
And then people are like, well, I could take a risk on $20.
Yeah, but there's just...
but even or some people that are like, I don't know, they put it out for $20. They probably don't have faith in it that it could go for $60.
But
I don't know. I just feel like there's like in any kind of what if scenario on that.
I just remember. I remember when Star Fox 64 launched, and there were magazines calling Rumble like the Rumble Pack a gimmick, and now it's in every fucking controller.
Yeah,
every controller. Like, you're gonna try things, and some of them are gonna be fucking shitty. and not work.
It's just,
that's
just how it has to be, though, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't, because we can, go into my hope with every new piece of hardware that comes out is that, it's gonna do bigger and better things than the hardware that preceded it, and I think that it has to.
And it falls on both, like, hardware manufacturers as well as developers, but I don't know. I just feel like I would like to see more risks taken in this next generation.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there were big risks taken in this one.
Yeah.
But like
such as?
Like Battle Royale was a big risk.
Yeah. That could have easily not worked.
And it's not my thing, but I can't deny that it fucking took off, you know? Just different things like that. But I don't know. I just need something. I need something new. I don't want to say that video games are getting stale because, like, I enjoy them and I still play them almost daily, you know? But I need things to be shaken up a bit, you know? I thought that was going to be VR, and I think it deserves to be VR, but the adoption of that it's just not where it needs to be.
The crazy thing about VR, and like, I am really excited to see like where that goes. But the crazy thing about VR is that, like, you know, I browse the VR storefronts, and I look at what people are making, and there are some interesting things here and there, right? But like, I see like, it's like, man, there sure are a lot of shooting galleries on this sumbitch, and like, which is cool to a point, right? But like, there are so many cool things that you can do in VR besides like that I want to see where that can go.
I mean, I think there's been a lot. I mean, to me, there's been a lot of already very creative VR games that aren't just shooting galleries, but it's a refusal of the audience to purchase one of these headsets and the developers. And like, I get it. You don't want to make a game that only a small fraction of people are going to buy,
right?
But like, someone's got to, and hopefully,
I mean,
hopefully Half-Life helps with that. I kind of don't think it will.
That's the thing. Like, these VR sets aren't cheap.
Yeah,
they're not like the most expensive things in the world, but they're not cheap. And for the library of games that they're putting out there and how they're promoting them, like, it's not enough for me to go and buy one.
The price of them is dropping faster than any console other than the 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I think, like, Vive was, like, what, $800, $900 at launch? Something like that?
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, I'm definitely interested in the Oculus Quest because I don't need the PC for it.
But if you hook it up to a PC, you can play better games, which is cool. You have options there.
Yeah, I like really that. I think that's really neat. That kind of definitely makes me want to, like, get that.
Me too.
But money.
Sure. Money.
I want to buy a house.
So, like...
Well, you can have a house in VR.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's so funny because, like, I think the first time I played No Man's Sky in VR, I built my little shelter and everything, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm in my own house. And I was just like, I've been in a house before. But like, I think like I like you know, PSVR, and I get that it's not. I get out of all the VR platforms out there, it's the least powerful, and that's fine. The biggest problem with PSVR, I think, is like I hope that when they iterate on that again, like, they find a way. They just get the tracking needs to be better.
So you're not inside someone's pecs?
Well, that was really more of my ineptitude with that controller than anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm inside the pecs.
But like, you know, like a lot of the time with PSVR, the experience that I've had is that, like, because like one of my biggest my biggest thing with VR, and the thing that like that always gets me immediately is the whole concept of like the video game being all around me. That's just the coolest thing in the world to me. And in exploring that, like, I'm immediately sucked out of it by that little error prompt that comes up.
Yeah.
You know, and
I think a lot of that has to do with the space you're playing in. Because I've played PSVR in a large room and have had next to no issues, you know. But
But everyone has a large room just for their PS4.
Sure. Well, it's funny. It's also it's the most budget of the VR headsets, right? I've told you before, your living room space would be perfect for a Vive.
If I get rid of all that pesky fucking furniture.
Right. But like, even outside of VR, even if VR was not a thing, and even if controllers stay exactly the same, I just remember a time when video games weren't as derivative as they are now.
Sure.
And I want that back, you know.
So, to capsize, predictions for next gen.
Predictions for next gen.
Capsize. I think cappened.
Well,
Happened.
I think that the value of PlayStation Plus will be redeemed a little bit because I assume they will give us PlayStation 4 and 5 games.
Yeah.
Because we went from 6 games to 2 games,
Yeah.
but we're still paying the same amount.
Yeah. Well, they were like, "Hey, what? Hold on, guys.
Yeah.
We lowered the price of PS Now, so we're cool, right?"
I think that PlayStation 5 will be backwards compatible with certain PlayStation consoles. I don't see it playing 3, and if it plays 3, I don't think it'll do it extremely well because of the cell processor.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know.
I don't have like a solid prediction, but I just have a hope that since Sony is ending PlayStation View, like their live TV streaming service, some of that resources and like company thought power goes to the PS5 and has a really good plan on how they want that next console generation to go. Because it does seem like Microsoft at least has a really solid idea of how they want the next cycle to be.
But at least to me, I know, like, I definitely don't speak for everybody. I have a lot of friends who only play on Xbox, right? To me, I've still no reason to buy the next generation Xbox console.
Oh,
Zero.
no. I'm not going to be an early adopter at all.
I'm not going to be an adopter at all. I bought an Xbox One, and it got zero use in this house, you know? I've no reason to buy one. Unless they have some crazy exclusive, but even then, Play Anywhere tells me it'll be on PC.
See, there it is right there, because like that was the same thing for me.
Yeah.
With my Xbox, it had nothing to do with like the fact that I could play exclusives on my computer. It had nothing to do with that. It just the games, like when I compared the two libraries, like aside from like the multi-platform releases or whatever, but like stuff that was just on Xbox is just like.
See, and for me, like Microsoft, them buying up studios was smart, right? Yeah. Hellblade 2 is smart. I want to play that game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play it on an Xbox.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know. There's no reason for me to.
Yeah.
You know?
No real reason.
That's all.
What about you, Ryan?
Well,
Any predictions or hopes?
I was telling Tom before you got here that I think that by the second year of the next generation, we'll get an announcement of another Tomb Raider game. I really believe that.
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, I think next year, or not next year, or yeah, next year, I guess, but next generation, I think that the Xbox is going to have, because of, you know, their acquisitions that they did during this generation, I think that they'll have a more diverse and interesting library than the last time around.
I mean, you saw that trailer. Yeah. They showed Forza.
Yeah.
They showed Halo. Mm-hmm. What else did they show? Yeah, their trailer for the new Xbox.
Fuck.
Where they were like making you think it was going to be BioShock, but then it was Forza and Halo.
Yeah.
But what else did they have there?
Was the Hellblade a separate thing from that?
Hellblade was a separate thing.
Okay.
I don't know. What is it?
You know,
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
Here's the thing: is I know a lot of people have things to say about it, but
the D&D game.
Oh, you know what's actually really huge? Sony San Diego putting the show on all consoles.
Oh yeah,
that's huge.
I'm
like, people don't seem to understand, but that is the same as Microsoft putting Minecraft on everything. It's the same thing.
I think that they had a conversation internally and were like, you know, we could do that. They're doing it. We could do that.
I think their contract was probably up, and MLB was like, "Hey, we need you to do this."
Yeah,
I don't think it's something Sony wanted.
Yeah. And I mean, I've always said the more people who can play a video game, the better. But also, a lot of people had stuff to say about it. But I personally think, I don't know. Don't ask me why, but I really like the way that Xbox looks. I just like it.
I like
it's reminiscent of a PC tower.
Huh?
It's reminiscent of a PC tower.
I don't think that's why I like it. It just
to me, it reminds me of the GameCube. Not that it looks like the GameCube, but like
it's a long cube.
It looks significantly different than consoles we've had for the past few
Sure.
generations.
I think
you
that's
know?
probably why I like it, because it just looks so different.
Right, because if you think about even like last gen, right, it's consoles that you sit horizontally or you sit vertically, and they kind of have the same fucking silhouette.
Yeah.
You know, like
So but I don't have, I don't have a lot of predictions as far as next generation is concerned, primarily because I've proven time and again that I don't know what I'm talking about. So
I think it's
like-
hard to predict with Sony. With like leadership has changed hands so much
yeah,
that's really hard to say. Sean Layden was one of the main reasons Sony was not at E3. He's gone now. You know,
yeah,
like I don't know. It's very hard to say.
yeah, but we'll see. And I think that paying attention to what happens and what comes out over the next year will be really cool to watch. But I don't know. I mean, this shit is expensive, and I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to buy either of those things. So
Just they're not that expensive, man. Just set aside some money.
I'll sell one of my dogs. They should press.
No, go for a kidney. It'll get you more money.
Yeah. I don't know. I just I want to keep playing these video games. And I hope that these games are cool, and I'm sure that they will be. All I want right now, I want Ghost of Tsushima to come out already. I just want that, and then I can think about everything else. I just want that game to come out already.
Fair.
Like, fuck, man. How long does it take to make a sword?
All right, so I have a game this week. The title of it, I'm stuck in between two of them. Either What Year Is It or Coming to America. So basically, I'm tying it into the discussion. I'm going to name video game consoles, and you're going to say what year they were released in North America.
Okay.
You'll get the point if you're just 1 year off.
Do we just shout it out?
We really need to get buzzers or something.
I told you to do that years ago.
Years ago.
Put it in this notebook so you don't forget it.
Yeah.
Buzzers. I don't have a coin. Otherwise, I'd have y'all flip a coin. And
We'll just say them.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's fine.
All right. The Atari 2600.
1976.
I'm gonna go with 78.
Ah, shit.
Are we both a year off?
Yep. It's 1977. So,
Good job, Ryan.
tie.
Cool.
Nintendo 64.
1997. 1996.
I'm gonna say 1996.
All right. See.
Cool.
Were we right?
Yep.
Really cool.
Xbox. The first one.
2001.
Were we right?
Yep. The Wii.
2006. 2005?
2006.
Okay.
The PSP.
2005.
2007.
Ryan was right.
Yeah.
The Sega Saturn.
1990. Fuck. Saturn?
Yeah.
Hold on.
1990 fuck is not a real year.
I'm gonna say 95.
I'm going to say 97.
Ryan again.
Okay.
Was I right on the money?
Yep. PS1.
1995.
Really? Fuck, really?
Like how you're just accepting his answers
I'm going to
as
say 96.
Ryan again.
Yeah. I told you he's better with dates.
Atari Jaguar.
I owned this. I'm the only person I know
1993.
that owned this. 94.
Ryan again.
Okay.
All right. Feeling good.
The Xbox One.
2013.
14.
God damn it, Ryan. The PS3. Hold on, let Tommy say it first so he has a chance.
Okay.
PS3?
Yes.
I'm so bad at this. 2000.
It's in between the
8?
PS1 and the Xbox One.
Wait a minute. So if that launched in 13, and the 8th generation of consoles lasted quite a while. But when we graduated. Okay.
What's your answer on that?
2005.
I'm gonna say 2007.
2006, guys.
Okay.
Cool.
The Dreamcast.
99.
1999.
Yeah.
That's everyone knows that one.
GameCube.
2002.
2001.
2001.
Cool.
And then the last one, the DSi.
2004.
DSi.
2006.
I'm gonna say 2006.
Both wrong.
Oh.
2008. Okay. All right. So Ryan won that one. And this week I actually have prizes. And you get some stickers.
Cool. Thank you. Star Wars. My favorite.
There's also The Office on there.
That's really good.
But yeah. I thought I'd come up with something that was related to the topic for once.
That was cool, though.
That was cool.
Yeah, I decided not to do multiple choice because I figured y'all would get it without that.
I might not.
Maybe not, you know?
So look, all the small things, our Discord people seem to like it a bit.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
One of them, our dear friend Abs, said, hey, why not have like a companion piece to all the small things where you pick like a little nitpick from a game?
Inspired
a small
by
thing you don't like.
Inspired by Shanae, because you nitpicked.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do one sometimes and one other times.
Okay.
Right? No order. Just sometimes
Sure.
we'll do one, sometimes we'll do the other.
Yeah.
So today we'll nitpick a game.
Oh.
I think we'll let Shanae go. And we'll call the nitpicking thing, I'm sorry I can't be perfect. Well, you don't have to sing it. Just give me your nitpick, Shanae.
My nitpick.
Yeah.
So my nitpick is when they create like invisible borders, but like there's like boxes and stuff like in a corner where you're able to get in, but you can't fucking get out. Like why? Like I know like sometimes it's because I'm just spliced into the wall and it's like a like glitch, but there's too many games that I've played where this is a scenario.
Dude.
It
Like
happened.
a corner with I know exactly what you're talking about.
It happened in Luigi's Mansion recently. It's 2019, bitch.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Come on, bitch.
Come on, bitch. Like, I shouldn't be able to get trapped in a corner.
Yeah, fix that clipping.
Nobody puts Luigi in a corner.
Yeah, no, like that. That's really frustrating. Me and Gooigi got stuck in a corner.
Sure.
My Goo brother just also couldn't do anything. And it's like if you're gonna tout it as this thing that can go through bars and things that Luigi can't, if you get stuck in a clip on something, like you should be able to at least get Goo Boy out.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like it. I had one that was very similar. That's good.
Yeah, no, that's what I don't like.
Okay.
Or we can call this grinds my gears.
No, we're not doing
No,
that.
we're not doing that.
All right, I'm sorry I'm not perfect, but yeah.
I'm sorry I can't be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I can't be perfect.
You know that song?
No.
Okay, well, it's fine.
So
yeah, next time we'll do one of those two.
okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me complain about something.
And thank you, Abs.
Thanks, Abs.
Thank you, Abs.
All right, so that's it for us this week. You can find us on most podcast suppliers or providers. What's the word?
Suppliers.
I know. I said that word and I was like, that's wrong.
Most podcast dealers.
Podcast distributors.
Our vendors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Later.
Bye.